The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts,
Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Monday, October 25. You are in the SWBC Mortgage Podcast Studios here at the Star. It is time for the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. Number 42, the Toledo Rocket, Barry Church in the building.
The original.
The LSU Tiger, the ultimate survivor, cast member of the season 41. You catch every Wednesday at 7 o'clock on CBS. He is Danny McCray.
Another week
You in there, man.
Another week.
I am Newy Scruggs. So we haven't had an opportunity to talk about on the show because we had a little mix-up on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
And we were off Thursday, Friday, so we haven't had a chance to talk about how you made it through.
Made it through, man. Another dub for the good guys. You know, I didn't do much. I just tried to sit back and see who else can finish the challenge. But yeah, we made it through another one, and this week should be very interesting. If anybody saw the previews, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those episodes. So tune in and yeah.
I got a question to ask. You were on island. What's her name? Shan, the one that's getting everybody.
Shan.
Yeah. Is she that believable, or or people just she got my back? Because I feel like everybody's just like, yes, Shan is, and then she just steady just hit you with a backstab. Like,
well, so we're all still on our own tribes at this point. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm not really sure why people are believing.
Because it's so blatantly obvious that she's up to something, and they all just like, listen, what, Shan got my back.
That's the greatest part about it, though, right? Because you, as a former NFL player, know the inner workings of the locker room and how defenses are called and all that stuff. But people who are watching are like, why the hell are they doing this? Or why are they doing that? And we in the locker room like, they have no idea what's going on.
That's true.
And that's the same thing. Them people saying, hey, man, I've been around this person for 24 hours a day for 11 days. Then they get to chop it up into what, 22 minutes for them to get that portion? Yeah. So we see 22 minutes of whatever, 24 hours times 10. So it's a lot more that's going into those conversations that makes her a little bit more believable to.
Because it seemed like, but first of all, JD was the ultimate sucker out there. Just, yes, you can have my idol. Yeah, I trust you. And then I forget homegirl that was just voted off. Started with Jeannie. Yeah, she was kind of already, you know what I mean? She was messed up because it was already 2-on-1 from the jump. And then, Richard, Man Bun, whatever his name is, tried to throw his little 2 cents in there saying, no, we should get her out. We should both team together. Like, come on.
I will say this.
It's a wrap.
I will say this. It's very strange as I watch it to like see these people telling everybody about every advantage that they got and saying we're gonna work together and this and that. When you historically watch the show and everybody says, hey, it's a bad idea, the fact that somebody would find something and then go say, hey, yeah. It's for all of us. Ain't no us.
Ain't no us. Ain't no we in this situation. Like,
it's a lot of we, Claude. Ain't no we, Claude. We got a plan. We got.
So there's a lot of foreshadowing here, though. This last episode when they had the girl who went on the. Shan and her went on the trip, right?
Yeah.
And she picked Risk Hers. And they didn't know what vote she was going to get. And she basically, her vote is you can take any idol or advantage from anybody if you ask them.
Right? I forgot about that.
There's foreshadowing there because now she knows Shan has that. And if you watch the previews, you see how they're about to team up together. Well, the tribes are going to
merge up.
I got no comment, but I would tell you. I know.
That
you're not really that close.
I thought he was warm. out there.
And I was just about to tell you, Chris, that's called a tease. They're going to make you think one thing, so you're thinking that.
But I'm not close.
And they go stringing it the other way. That's what you do in a good tease. I'm going to make you
think this. It's a good theory.
Make you think this is about to happen, and then it's going a whole other way.
That's why you should make sure you tune in to this episode. It's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be a great episode to watch, and I'm excited to watch it myself. A little worried, but a little excited as well.
Wednesdays, 7 p.m. CBS. your Team Danny T-shirt.
Wednesday. Yeah, I got him.
Wednesday. Okay, you got.
I got the magic ticket, my boy. So I'll be having I'll have this bad boy on Wednesday's show. It's gonna be amazing.
Send him a reminder.
Wednesday, yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I have to call him like 3 hours before the show because we never know where Barry's gonna be, like flying back from Broken Bow.
Whether I'm here or on camera, I'm gonna have my Team Danny shirt on. I'm gonna have it on, man. I'm gonna walk through the airport with that thing on. We gonna have it right.
Cowboys off this week, so that was nice to not have to invest in just watching football, gearing up, taking those. It was just nice to just
It was one of my favorite weekends.
Just like let everybody else play.
I was watching. I was playing fantasy. 3 dubs in a row, by the way. I ain't gonna throw that out there, but it's 3 dubs in a row. But yeah, I got to watch all the games. I'm flipping through there, the Red Zone channel, the NFL Network. I mean, I'm watching every single game, and it just felt great to kick back and sit there and not have to worry about what these Cowboys are gonna go ahead and do. Right. Got to check out my fantasy teams, and it was a great weekend, sir. It was a great weekend.
Listen, I don't feel the same as y'all because now I've like changed my stress level. It's all being put on now. Any player that played at LSU that is now in the NFL because LSU's football season looks like it's going down the drain. So, for some reason, I have like become, Cowboys are always going to be number one.
Yeah, they up there.
But it's something about those Cincinnati Bengals.
And
I see, and I've been banging on the tape ever since when Joe Burrow was in college. I've said the same thing about him being better than Trevor Lawrence because that was the thing then. And now me and Church have this thing with him and Justin Herbert. And I'm watching the game and like. Let's keep the Justin Herbert part out of it. Let's just think about Joe Burrow.
We can talk about Joe Burrow.
The guy went out there, and we talked about how he has the Bengals playing for first place. And then we say, all right, well, they're going to play the Ravens, and they're probably going to lose, but I think Joe Burrow's going to play well. He played really well.
He did.
That team as a whole played really well, and they went out there and they embarrassed the Ravens at home.
They did.
Now they're first place in their division. So I tweeted out, I said, hey, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year voting just got a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to cast your vote now. If you're being unbiased and you say Joe Burrow goes ACL, MCL, whatever else, he pretty much his whole knee was messed up, right? Yep. And that goes out too. But when you look at where they are in the season. They're both leading their division.
Both playing great.
Both headed to the playoffs.
Here's my question on Burrow from this standpoint. How many games did he play last year?
10, right?
I want to say it was 10 or 11.
Because he just played the 17th this past game.
And so, I kind of asked this: what qualifies as a comeback? If you've played, that many games last year, I'm just wondering. I think
the comeback is more of like you dealing with that injury, right, and then coming back from it. No matter when it happened during the season, right, because there are guys who have Robert Griffin. You go out, you tear your ACL, and all of a sudden you're not the same. You weren't able to actually come back from the adversity that hit you throughout that season. So, I mean. He was out for 6 games. He come back, and you don't know if you're going to be the same. These players have to go in their mind and say, hey, I have to go out here and be able to perform and not have that, dang, is my knee okay? Same thing with Dak, right? Can I run the ball? Can I take a tackle? Like, they're both going through the same process of going through an injury that could change your career and then see how you bounce back from it the next season.
Okay, I'm going to throw this to you just so you have a quick understanding of how I can see this voting going. The Bengals were bad last year, and then he got hurt, and they remained bad. And because it's the Bengals, they're not on TV a whole lot. I just don't know how many people are truly aware of how hurt he got. And then he came back, and so it was like, okay. Versus you saw Dak get hurt on national TV. You saw the Cowboys fall off a cliff. You spent the whole offseason, and people are talking, does he get his money? Does he get his money? And it just seems to me that just those types of things of Cowboys versus Bengals that I can see Dak Prescott getting the votes for that thing and people almost basically forgetting a little bit about
I'm not saying Dak's not going to get it. I'm saying before Joe Burrow came back and was playing this way, you just automatically assume that it's going to be Dak. And let's not forget that last year when Dak got hurt, what were we 1-3?
Were we 1-3?
We had beat Atlanta.
Yeah, we were
1. We were actually not playing well. We had the worst defense in the league. So both teams were not playing well at that time. Joe Burrow had squeaked out some wins as well, but neither one of them looked like they were going to be a Super Bowl contender. And now they both are contenders for at least a playoff run. Based off where they are right now.
And let's basically put it this way. Here's Joe Burrow, 23-38, 416 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. They win 41-17 over Baltimore. The Bengals have a franchise guy.
Yeah.
And watching so many games yesterday, it was very clear because there was a bunch of blowouts. Mm-hmm. Who had some franchise guys that could do something, and a whole lot of folks who didn't. And I looked at, just say, for instance, the Washington game. They're taking on Green Bay. They get hammered. The two things they thought they had, we got this defense is going to come back here. This defense is going to put it on you, and we're going to bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick. So we got a guy that we're going to put in. And if Ryan can't go, we like Heineke because Heineke had a nice game against Tampa Bay. No.
Heineke's getting exposed.
Yeah.
He's getting exposed. He thinks it's his backyard ball where he can just run around, toss it here, toss it there. I can use my playmaking ability. That only works if you coming in for spot duty. Like you coming in for one game here, maybe a game over there, maybe a game here. But when you're supposed to be that guy and you got to consistently go out there and play at a high level, I don't think that guy can do it. I think defenses sat down earlier when he was making spot duty. They weren't watching film on Heineke. They weren't trying to break him down, see his tendencies, where he loves to go with the ball. They weren't doing any of that. But now that he's supposed to be that guy for the Washington, now that Fitzpatrick's hurt, guys are sitting there looking, okay, let's break this guy down. Oh, he does this. Well, we can get him with that. And they're exposing this guy right now. And, he's just not performing as well as Washington would love him to do. And that defense is not doing him any justice at all. We thought they was going to come through and be unbelievable. At least I did. And they just
they were supposed
they're
to
getting
be
exposed as well.
They were supposed to be, the leaders of the conference at this point, and all Chase Young and best front seven, all that stuff. And we've seen ourselves how quickly that can change, right? Because like I said, we had Jalen and Van Der Esch, and we were like, these are the two linebackers
going forward,
and it changes quickly. I will say this: Washington did not look good, but we know that the defensive coordinators in this league are very good. And eventually, they're going to catch everyone. And so if you're not like a Kellen Moore who's out here calling plays to keep them on their toes, right, and you're just like depending on your quarterback to go out here and make plays, then you're going to be in trouble. As we see in Kansas City. And I said this when I was watching the game. For the first, 2-3 years we watched Patrick Mahomes, it's like, oh, man, there's no look. It's behind the back. He's just tossing it up. And I'm like, yeah. But then when it stops working, I want you to also beat him down the same way you lifted him up of being able to do these great things, and it's always working. And we out there watching this game, I'm like, what the heck is Mahomes doing?
Yeah, you're right about it. It's not like it's not like he's putting the ball right where he hit. His turnovers are all just, I'm falling down. Let me go ahead and make this miraculous play. And like you said before, it didn't hurt him in the past. Like in the past, somebody would come underneath it and get a crazy catch, and oh my goodness, Pat Mahomes. But now cats are starting to warm up to that, and cats are starting to make plays on him.
They found out about Tyreek Hill. He got six picks in 6 games.
They putting it over top of Tyreek. They not letting Tyreek outrun it. And for some reason, Kelsey, he's putting up decent numbers, but he's just not being that effective game changer that he was in the past.
Okay, you guys both play in the league, so this is me just being a media guy. And tell me if I'm wrong here. I look at what's going on in Kansas City, quarterback pressing. That's my first thought.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Trying to press. 2, they didn't fix the offensive line. They thought they did.
They thought they did.
But they didn't. Mm-hmm. 3, the running back they took in the first round a couple of years ago, Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU.
Can't stay healthy.
He's not the guy. Reminds me a lot about the time the Rams took Trunk Candidate in the first round.
I thought you were about to say Trent Richardson.
Yeah,
that was the most recent one.
But I just looked kind of at the end of the first round. Thinking, hey, this change of pace guy, he can help us out. And then 4, the defense hasn't improved. Those 4 factors, I look at those 4 factors, and that leads to you not only losing, but other people catching up to you. And now you've got the Chargers who, under Anthony Lynn, all we saw them do was lose the close games. So far, they're able to win the close games. And then with the Raiders right now, we're seeing Derek Carr play a lot better football.
He's playing at a high level.
I think they now have a better head coach in Rich Bisaccia.
I would agree with that.
I think Rich Bisaccia is going to allow the coaches to do their thing, is going to be an egoless place. And the fact that they've won 2 games since John Gruden left there and won them convincingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Rich is going to be able to possibly even keep this job if he keeps winning like this and they go to the playoffs. So that's just kind of what I see. You tell me.
I think you're right on. I think you're right on with that. And I'm trying to think. It's the Raiders.
Raiders, Chargers,
Kansas City, and then who was the fourth one? Denver. Who they're struggling a little bit as well. But Kansas City might end up being last in this division. And I was the main one. Kansas City, they're going to the playoffs. You ain't got to worry about them.
Kansas City and Denver are both 3 and 4. Denver going back into the whole franchise quarterback thing. problems. Their quarterbacks Teddy Bridgewater's not the answer. Drew Lock is not the answer, which is why everybody who thought paying Dak Prescott was way too much money. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. I mean, you look right now, you see Denver's issue is real. Their defense isn't as good as we thought. But you've got no quarterback. You don't have a quarterback in this league, you got no chance.
No chance.
Denver is Carolina. All right. They came out, they 3-0, and they're like, man, you know what? When you look at their schedule, they haven't played anybody. Now, you're playing somebody and you ain't won a game.
Sam, Darnold,
he looked terrible.
You got benched.
At a cliff.
You're not playing nobody. We looked at that schedule before we played them and said, all right, I'm looking at the
number one defense.
Yeah, and I'm like, they ain't played nobody, and they haven't been the same
since that L.
I love it. Since we gave them that L, they
lost 4 straight.
Right, they've lost 4 straight.
They haven't been the same. But the thing with back on Patrick Mahomes, you're pressing. You're right, because I remember before the season, and I harken this back to LeBron when he went to Miami, and they like that. Not 1, not 2, not 3. And I'm like, Patrick Mahomes lost in the Super Bowl, and they interview him, and he's talking about going undefeated. And I'm like, bro, win a game. All right, win a game.
People talking about Hall of Fame already.
Yeah.
Like, give him the anointment oil. And, I was a part of that crowd thinking he was, the illest to ever walk. But, I mean, he might eventually one day be that. But right now, he got to figure it out.
Aaron Rodgers, to me, is going to be probably the most talented as far as being able to make those type of plays. I think he's still that guy.
Yeah, because he combines both. I mean, he got all the arm talent of a Patrick Mahomes, but he has the brains and the checking and know what the ability is as a Tom Brady.
Jimmy G do what? Jimmy G can't get that conversation?
No. We just gonna keep Aaron Rodgers because and this is what I love about Aaron Rodgers, because they talked all that stuff about Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers come back and win the MVP. All right, and we talk about what people don't have on their team, what they don't have on their roster, and we've seen Aaron Rodgers make some guys look great. Was it Lazard this week?
Lazard. Lazard was on Jacksonville with me, all right? On the practice squad. And now he's out here catching touchdowns. I mean, they got, to me, seriously 2 good pieces outside of Rodgers. Who they got? Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, the running back, who I think is a legit dog out there.
And
we always gotta say
they're winning
those swipes, man.
Jalen Smith he went from a winning team to a winning team, and they're gonna win their division.
Yeah, they're gonna win. They're gonna win that division.
They can win that division
without a doubt.
Jimmy G last night was bad. That was bad to watch. And I thought about this when you just brought up Aaron Rodgers. Think about what the 49ers have done. They passed on Aaron Rodgers. Now, that was before Shanahan and Lynch. But since Shanahan and Lynch have been there, they passed on Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, told Tom Brady no.
They did do that too. And you think that's too? You think that's the coach? You think that's the coach saying, "No, I don't need all that. I can do this myself with everybody."
Kyle Shanahan's in charge. He hired John Lynch.
You gotta be more careful than that. I mean, we know this is a quarterback-driven league.
Think about those.
Gotta have somebody back there.
You know what the greatest part about this is? It ain't us.
Yeah, we didn't make that mistake.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've been in the situations, in years past, and we just sit over here and we just can't figure out what the heck is going on, hoping we come out of the bye week better than we went in, than we went into it. But we 6-1.
6-1.
We 5-1. We're 5-1. We coming out. We finna play Minnesota, and we don't have an issue right now. All right, our issue is our quarterback healthy, and if he is, then that Minnesota defense better be ready. Opposite of that, I feel really good about where we are. We don't have these issues that these other teams are going through, which is great.
This game right here will definitely make sure that we don't have any issues on the defensive side of the ball, for sure. Because we got Cook coming up the middle, and outside of Diggs, you got Thielen or Jefferson. Who gonna watch? I mean,
they getting some work this week.
Somebody getting some work on that outside.
Let's dive into that. In terms of what worries you most about that offense for Minnesota. Let's take a break right there. Danny McCray, Barry Church, Newy Scruggs. This is Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life The Cowboys Way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
All right, here we are back on the Players Lounge, and we have a side argument going on. We're not going to bring into it much because it's going to take too long. But
yeah, you're right about that.
But it is 2 against 1.
You're right
That's
about
all
that.
I'm saying. It's 2 against 1, and I'm going to let you continue to stand in your truth. Okay?
It is.
Yeah,
okay.
He had a great game. Burrow had an amazing game.
Not an amazing season.
He's having
multiple touchdowns.
So was Herbert. They both had great.
They scored 6.
They both had
Joe
great
Burrow
seasons.
Joe Burrow ain't scored.
When I talk about one game, you said, "Oh, we ain't talking about the season."
I'm saying they scored 6.
That one game.
Joe Burrow has had multiple touchdown passes
one
every
game.
game.
Or we talking about the season?
I'm just telling you. When you comparing it, I'm telling you, Joe Burrow has had multiple touchdown passes in every game this season.
He's played
Justin
well.
Herbert has not.
In one game he didn't have multiple touchdown passes.
I think Cincinnati's got a bad head coach. I don't think Zach Taylor's good. Joe Burrow's so good, this guy's employed, and they in first place.
Oh my God.
Joe Burrow went out there. Ed Ogeron was a guy people had questions about. Ed Ogeron.
That's what you're thinking. That's
Joe
not
Burrow
facts.
won a national championship. Won this man.
See, we gonna go to 130.
$40 million.
With this man talking about
and now
conjecture.
this man is fired because Joe Burrow.
We talking about that's not facts. That's what you think. Those are not facts.
What did Joe Burrow
that
say?
He's lifting up Zach. That's not facts.
But the fact is, Justin Herbert played the same Baltimore team and scored 6, and Joe Burrow heard this podcast and he went in there and said, "Hold my beer. Let me show you how to do this." And put a 400 and whatever. 416 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He played great.
And they won 40. Nobody thought that. They won 41-17.
Still taking hits left and right.
Oh, yeah.
He played great.
He said he had protection. I was like, you ain't watched the game.
From who?
So now we talking about, here we go. I thought we was going on with this. Now, are we talking about this or are we talking about something else? Because we can go. Just let me know.
We got all week.
Y'all want to open up the zipper to this?
I'll be here all week.
All right, let's go there.
I'm bringing out stats.
All right, here we go.
Let's just go ahead and get off that.
Because Jamar Chase is definitely better than anything they got over there with the
Chargers. Yeah, we know that, though. We already know that.
We know that. So, all right, because we opening up the Pandora's box once again.
Church. I mean, look, I'm going to let you stand in your truth. I mean, that's it, right? That's what you do with people like that, man. You stand in your truth. Yeah. You want to be wrong, you be wrong. Okay. Let's move into move into Sunday Night Football on NBC. Cowboys, Vikings. As a defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, what's your bigger worry? Is it Jefferson, Thielen, the tight ends? Is it Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison? Cook's been dealing with some issues this year in terms of injuries, was hurt for a little bit. So where do you decide to stop the Vikings if you're defensive coordinator Dan Quinn? I'll start with you, Danny.
You got to stop the run.
Yeah.
You have to stop Dalvin Cook, because if you don't, then you got 3 guys running loose in your secondary. All right. So you need to make sure you're able to stop the run. Make sure you're able to stop the screen game, because they are very good with Dalvin Cook in the screen game. Mm-hmm. And then you let your defensive backs play coverage on those guys. What we know is we're going to give up some plays in the secondary. Just don't let them throw it over your head. Make the tackle on these guys. Minimize the yards after catch. But you can't do any of this if you got Dalvin Cook running every which way throughout your defense. So you have to stop the run. You need to focus on stopping Dalvin Cook, because last week we also saw that our linebackers can have some issues when you have one of those type of backs coming out of the backfield.
Without a doubt. I mean, you hit it right on the head right there, 100%. I mean, we got to be able to stop this run. And what scared me a little bit was not the week before when we played the Patriots, Harris was able to crease us right up the gut. against our defense, and that's supposed to be the heart of our defense. He was able to crease us early in the game, and definitely in the fourth quarter, they drove the ball all the way down the field, running the ball basically right in between our tackles. So to me, that's got to be somewhat of a worry, because Harris isn't half of the back of what Dalvin Cook is. Even though Cook has been dealing with injuries, last week he ran phenomenal in my opinion. The week before the bye, he ran phenomenal. So he's going to come in after a bye week as well, more rested, more fresh, ready to come into. We played him here, or we go up there?
It's in Minnesota.
In Minnesota. He's ready for us to come up to Minnesota. So we got to stop that run. And to your point, if we don't do that, it's kind of like picking our poison out there. It's kind of what we do to other teams. They come in there, they stop our run, we still got to be able to pass the ball. So we got to be able to stop these guys running the ball. And we got to figure out some way, somehow, to lock down Thielen. If it was up to me, I'm leaving Diggs on Jefferson. I'm like, look, man, you got this. This is you. And now if Jefferson exposes him, Diggs,
happened.
then you gotta figure something out. But I'm living him on Diggs for a little, or Diggs on Jefferson for a little bit, and I'm doubling Thielen, because I don't think Anthony Brown can handle Thielen intermediate routes, short routes, deep routes. I just think he's a better player than Anthony Brown right now, and I think we need more help on that side of the ball. So to me, I'm leaving Diggs over there. Hopefully he can get his thing done. If he doesn't, then we go back to a traditional defense and maybe have help on both sides. But to me, leave Diggs, double Thielen, and you got to stop the run. If not, it's going to be a long afternoon.
I'll say this. I think this is probably going to be the most talented receivers that we play
Who's their
this
third?
season.
Who's their third?
I have no idea. But
I know D.D. Westbrook's up there, but I don't think he's doing work like that.
Well, and I'm including Dalvin Cook in this as well as being a receiver. So I think that Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, and Justin Jefferson probably, if you look at our schedule, will be the most talented group of receivers, right? A.J. Green and DeAndre Hopkins, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be that's down the road.
I think we should stick with our usual game plan. I don't think we should double Thielen until we get down to the red zone, because we know he's one of those red zone monsters. When you're in the open field, you need to find a way to confuse Kirk Cousins.
You can do that. What you can do.
Let me throw this out. Just listening to both of you talk here. When you talk about the run, Minnesota, number 8 right now in the National Football League, averaging 127.8 yards on the ground. Cowboys are number 2, 164.3. When it comes to passing, Cowboys, 5th in the NFL right now, 296 yards a game. Minnesota's right behind the Cowboys at 288. A lot of similarities in terms offensively of where, when you talk about where do you stop first? Where do you go? This is going to be an interesting game, which to me, when I see this, my first thought is turnovers. Win the turnover battle, win the game.
That's what we've been doing so far this year. And you can do that to Kirk Cousins. Like, with us, Dak, I'm starting to see Dak creeping into that elite where it's like, no matter what type of defense you throw out there, he's going to find a way to pick you apart. But with Kirk Cousins, we noticed in the past this year, you can get after this guy and you can force him to either make mistakes by getting the ball out of his hands quicker than he wants to, or you can disguise like what we have been doing, and he can talk him into throwing the picks, similar to what Sam Darnold did when we played the Patriots or played the Panthers. So to me, that's the guy we got to take advantage of. Yes, we got to stop the run, but when we do that and we can make them one-dimensional by making them think that they have to win by throwing the ball with Kirk Cousins, that's where I think we can take huge advantage of, talk him into throwing some mistakes out there, or even get after him in the pocket. You know how loose he carries that football out there. If we can hit him a couple times, get him with those happy feet, we can make him throw some picks out there, and I think we can take advantage of him. That's the person I think we got to do.
He's only got 2 picks this year.
Yeah, that's this year.
13 touchdowns, 2 picks.
He's been playing well so far.
It's just not going to be easy. And they've played recently. They've played some really good games between the Cowboys and Vikings here. So it's going to be a fun game. I'm going to go up there, so can't wait to go. Speaking of traveling, if your idea of a perfect Thanksgiving feast isn't spent around the dinner table, but instead in a private suite at Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving Day game with 17 of your closest friends and family, well then Hotels.com and the Dallas Cowboys coincidentally created the ultimate grand package for you. Head to DallasCowboys.com/hotels for a chance to win a private suite, a free night hotel stay, transportation to and from the game on a private Cowboys bus, and a $1,000 gift card to Hotels.com with 1 year of gold loyalty status. All courtesy of Hotels.com. Go enter it, DallasCowboys.com. Hotels to have the sweetest Thanksgiving ever.
That's probably the longest read.
Yeah. They hit you with a big old paragraph. Right?
You know what?
He did the slash. I was like, he almost done. Nah.
It's the first time I've read it. I didn't see it. I didn't,
that was a long one.
I didn't get to preview it all, man, but ran through that thing real quick. All right, hey, let's hit a break here. I want to ask this question. Who is the top free agent that the Cowboys signed in the offseason? Not talking about Dak. Talking about someone they brought in from the outside. Top free agent so far on a 5-1 football team. The Cowboys get ready to face the Minnesota Vikings. Danny McCray, Barry Church. I am Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Organic pumpkin smoothies are back at Smoothie King with at least 13 grams of protein each and 5 options to choose from. It's easy to find a favorite to help you reach your goals, like the new Keto Champ Pumpkin, packed with a whopping 23 grams of protein and 9 net carbs. It's a quick and nutritious meal on the go. So order online or through the app for pickup or delivery. And power up with pumpkin and protein. Official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Head to AT&T Stadium on Saturday, November 6th to experience Rally Day presented by SeatGeek. Take a tour of the stadium, play games, get autographs from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and more. Visit attstadium.com/rallydays for tickets and for more information. You're back at the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. Barry Church, did Toledo win this week?
I'm not sure what the Rockets. They did.
They did. I looked it up.
What you mean? Did the Rockets win? What you mean out here? Yeah, we won, man. What's wrong with y'all, man? I got a question. I didn't know we were allowed to take calls.
Pay your dues.
As a podcast.
Somebody from Toledo is going to call you and say, hey, Church.
And I'm going to be like, hey. You got that wrong number.
The ultimate survivor, Danny McCray, is here on the show.
So I cannot be booked.
Your boys win?
Let me tell you something. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase did great. I told you I've now transitioned.
Oh, hold up! Before we get into all this,
is there?
Wait a second,
I
Dewey.
transitioned my excitement.
Dewey, I got to know,
we lost
man.
to Ole Miss.
I got to know. Did you have anything to do with Vanilla Ice performing at your homecoming? What is going on here, man? Vanilla Ice,
HBCU.
Oh, Trustee Newy. I was like, hold up, man. I thought somebody sent me some bull crap.
Too, boy.
Okay.
He was out here. Ice baby.
So I did not know Vanilla Ice got paid $42,000 to come show up at the UNC Pembroke homecoming. I did not know this.
So it's true.
So it's true.
So I found that out on Twitter when you hit it to me at 3:40. I get my contact back to school. Did you book Vanilla Ice? Did you book Vanilla Ice? He says, "Come on, bro. Does that sound like me?" I said I wanted to make sure I was getting hammered on Twitter about it.
So who booked him?
So is he booked?
Is he booked?
He performed.
So this is already happening.
At your HBC.
At 8:06 a.m., I said, "How was Vanilla Ice?" My contact said, "Actually, it was a decent show. Over 500 attended." He said the people that went loved it.
500 people attended it.
And then, there was a step show that was there. Okay, first off, Chris, it's a small school. And it said it appealed to the audience that went. It was a much different audience than the Step Show. Step Show had 970 people.
All I'm saying is I ain't seen Vanilla Ice since That's My Boy.
How is he still getting $42,000 for a show?
So ultimately, there were issues that he got booked and some people didn't want him booked. There were issues.
At an HBCU.
It ain't no HBCU, son. It's a Native American college.
Who's saying it was HBCU?
I said that, but I was wrong. Don't matter. It's still Vanilla Ice performing at your school.
Started off as a North Carolina Indian normal school.
Anyways.
But shout out to...
We won homecoming, by the way.
Y'all won?
Yeah, because Vanilla Ice
But y'all didn't win the after show. Y'all ain't win that one. Vanilla Ice was in it.
No, he didn't show up at the Step Show, okay? Vanilla Ice wasn't at the Step Show. Actually, can I tell you, I did see Vanilla Ice once. It was a Cowboys training camp at Wichita Falls. The last year they were there. And Beam, you may have been there. It was at Coach Joe had performed.
Yeah.
And then Vanilla Ice later on performed.
What year was this?
That was Graham, I believe it was at Graham Central Station.
He's still getting booked. That's what's amazing to me. He's still getting booked out here.
Finessing.
Let me get that
$42,000 for 500 people.
You know what? This is what happened because I'm not on the board.
$84 a person, just letting you guys know.
This is
heavy prices.
This is what happens when I'm not on the board. This kind of stuff go down.
Hey, man.
I'd have shut it down.
Go get you.
Go get them right, man.
Go get your boys.
And Church, by the way, Toledo did 34-15. Just letting you know.
Yeah, we
glad you care about it.
Yeah, LSU lost since y'all asked. We lost to Ole Miss.
Hey.
Oh, that's right, Lane Kiffin.
We lost to Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. You knew who it was.
Say Lane about to get that job, huh? Over at LSU.
You know what? Lane Kiffin at LSU would make a lot of sense.
And bring that offense back.
A lot of sense. By the way, Texas Tech fired their head coach Matt Wells, so there's another job available.
The Red Raiders ain't been nice since
Mike Leach.
Crabtree
and them boys. I remember that. Yeah,
that's Mike Leach.
Wait, was Mike Leach the one that got in trouble for locking kids in the cupboard or something? How you let somebody lock you in there though, man?
That
was Craig James' son.
It was one child.
How you let somebody lock you in the closet?
No child left behind, bro.
We acting like this kid was 12.
He had a concussion. He had to be in the dark. That's what it was. That was what it was.
Shed. And they said just go stand in the shed. So, all right, we digress. So, who is the Cowboys' top free agent signing that they brought in? 6 games in so far. Who do you like?
Go ahead, D-Mac.
I don't know. I thought Church was going to steal my Dan Quinn thing, and then Newy said we couldn't use it because he's talking about players. But,
Correct.
Dan Quinn is number one. But since we are on players, I'm going to go with the new 42.
Who? Man, boy ain't showed up in 2 weeks, man.
I'm going to say the new 42, Keane O'Neill, because I think that we've seen NFL offenses going to they're majoring in 11 personnel. A lot of nickel, right? So you had to have a guy who could come in and play that nickel linebacker spot. And they found one, and they trust him so much that they paid somebody $7 million not to be on the squad. So I think that he's come in. I think he's really made a difference in the run game. I think he's made a difference in the pass game as well, allowing us to do some stuff that we were worried about, covering tight ends a little bit, making sure you're getting under those Seattle overdrops, those deep routes by those tight ends going over. I think that he's playing well. Now, he hadn't been available for the last couple weeks, but it's a 17-game season. So I think that is our biggest free agent signing.
Yeah, that's wrong. But he came in. He's done some things, especially early in the season. COVID's setting back a little bit, so I'm waiting to see what he can do further on. There's only one answer. It's Curse.
Who?
Curse.
Where you at?
J-Ron Curse.
J-Ron Curse.
Okay, right.
That's the only answer that's possible right now. Offensively, I don't even think. Did we bring any? We ain't bringing any free agents for the offensive side of the ball that are actually playing. So we're going to go to the defensive side and what Curse has been able to do. He's the guy that's actually been watching these tight ends. If you look at the defense, this is the guy that goes down there, plays man-to-man on these tight ends, but he's also has the ability to kind of slide into that dime linebacker role, play down there in the box, as well as play deep. I mean, this is a guy coming from Detroit and Minnesota. We thought, this is going to be just strictly a special teams guy. He's coming from over there. He's not going to bring anything to us but a core special team value type of guy. But he's coming here and he's exceeded – I think he exceeded his contract for sure.
Yes, he's playing well,
and he's playing. He's probably the best safety that we got right now, as far as going out there on the defensive side of the ball, being able to play in the box, being able to play deep, being able to play man to man. Plus, he's a leader on this defense. So to me, I think he's the best free agent acquisition.
You can't argue with him. I think both the Cowboys had critical needs in both areas, and I can't sit up here and say you're wrong or you're wrong because you're both right. I mean, these have been good choices. I will go back to Neil on this one thing because I was the person beating the drum saying, bring in some people who know what Dan Quinn wants to run. Neil has definitely helped. Curse has been Curse to me is one of those guys. Hey man, get in here and try to get him on another contract.
Yeah, get him on something slight.
Get him here while you cheap the way you can because he's made a difference. Both guys have been difference makers on this defense in areas that were definitely of concern for the Cowboys, and good for the Cowboys to get that done. Because we've seen them go to Dollar General and try and get these free agents on the cheap here.
And what's crazy is they basically went right back to Dollar General. Because if you think Curse, Hooker, and KZ, they're combined.
Clinton Dix.
Oh, my God. Their combined contracts ain't even.
You know they remind me of? Barry Church. He gonna keep going back to the same bet about not getting turnovers, and eventually you gonna get it right. They got it right. Eventually, after going to Dollar General a couple times, they found something on the back of the shelf that nobody else had purchased, and they like, oh man, we hit gold here.
They got 3 of them too. They got 3-for-1 deal without a doubt.
So I'm waiting for you to get your 3-for-1, but I don't think.
I don't think
it's coming anytime soon.
I hope I don't get it.
I do want to mention one free agent who we don't talk about, which says all we need to know about how well this free agent has done. Long snapper Jake McQuaid taking over for LP Ladiseur, because I know several people who are waiting for Jake McQuaid to make a bad snap because we never saw LP do it.
Never. 16 years.
But I would say that I don't think it's the reason I don't think it's a huge one is because it wasn't like an issue. It wasn't anything that we needed to be fixed.
No, you're right. But just in terms of just looking, I was one of those like, why are you touching this? LP is perfection. Why are you messing with perfection? So I'm just sitting around looking, okay, Jake McQuaid, better not mess up.
If he go out there and do, I'm gonna be like, man, hey, the boy Newy.
I'm sending receipts to the other side of the building, man.
Exactly.
So I just at least want to acknowledge, okay, McQuaid has come here. He's done the job. So
far, so good.
Want to give credit to where credit is due. So I want to make sure I do that.
He's played well.
Always special teams love, man. Shout out to him.
Dak Prescott out of the walking boot, according to John Machota. The media they're out meeting with the players today.
Ooh-wee.
Dak is not talking, but they saw Dak. Dak without the boot. Had the mild calf strain. Mike McCarthy talked about how they were going to check it out today. So
I'm still nervous a little bit because you can never cast kind of like hamstrings. Like, you can never quite get it right without having an extended period of rest. And we know we had that bye week in there. So it just come to me, it's like, what type of degree is it right now? We'll never know. We'll never find out the truth about it. But if he goes back out there and that thing ain't ready and that thing pops or something like that,
I just wonder, how do you test it?
That's the thing, because you don't want to go out there and run full speed and on the practice field and be like, oh, damn.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? So do you just
Cooper Rush?
So you want Cooper Rush and Will Greer to get some extra reps this week?
Now, what I don't want to happen is we mess up and we find a way to lose Dak for an extended period of time when it could only be 1 week. That's what I don't want.
And we got a good cushion right now. We got a three game lead on the rest of the division. 3.5.
Trying to get that bye week. I'm trying to get that first round.
We got to go through Arizona right now.
Yeah, but listen, like I said, I still think they're going to falter because the Rams look good.
Arizona could get beat this week.
Who they got this week?
Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, they could. And then we got in Green Bay.
You still got the Rams and the Seahawks in their division. So it's
but Wilson out for how many? He got what? 6 weeks?
I think will he be back before they play him again? Because he's going to play spoiler.
He might be a spoiler.
I think the Rams, when they play Arizona, they beat them already, right?
Arizona already beat. Yeah, Arizona beat.
I think when they play them again, I think McVay gonna have something for them. And that's what makes me feel really good about where we are. If we do what we're supposed to do, and then let them battle it out, I think we can find a way to beat Arizona and then get that number 1 seed.
All right. Fun show today. Yeah. The Ultimate Survivor, Danny McCray. Catch him Wednesday, 7 o'clock CBS. Tell everybody where
Season
they get
41.
That Team Danny gear at.
Hey, you better get it. Been selling
out. Like hotcakes.
Log on to the website at shopdannymccraymerch.com. You can also find the link in my bio on Twitter at DannyDMac44 and on Instagram at DannyMcCray40.
All right, man.
I can't wait to see the footage of you catching some fish out there, climbing some trees.
I already caught the fish, bro.
I ain't seen no footage.
They didn't show it. Man. When you saw us and our boat flipped over.
What's up with that?
When our boat flipped over.
First two episodes, I
had caught the fish.
The man out there. They had my boy on
the first episode, and then 2, 3,
and then my man gave the JG speech out there. Hey, pick your head up. It's gonna be all right.
Fight.
Members.
Fight.
I loved it.
I saw a lot of clapping on our team, and I still see my man JG out there clapping too. So
JG got to win yesterday. I got to win. Got to win.
Damn, Sam Darnold looked trash. I'm like, God, what?
With Daniel Jones out there looking 10 times better than
Daniel
Sam
Jones
Darnold.
had that. You see that catch the man had?
Well, I'll say this.
It still worries me because
Deshaun Watson they're gonna be begging Deshaun because he's got a no trade clause, and Carolina wants him. Miami wants him. He's the only team who's approved of a deal so far, according to John McClain.
I go to Miami, stay tax free.
Tua played well though.
He did.
Tua played well yesterday.
But if I'm David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, I'm trying to get Deshaun here real quick. Hey man, come on.
So he could be off the team next year.
They ain't got no weapons. Ain't know what they got going on.
What's Sam Darnold doing for you?
Yeah, man.
Not a team.
I mean, what you gonna give up to get Deshaun though?
Got to be a
and
couple
then not be able to do nothing with it.
3 first-round picks is what they're saying, but hey,
3.
We'll see how it goes. Hey, look, if Daniel Snyder can get off and not get caught, and Bob Kraft cannot get caught.
Oh, speaking of the how they not find no? Come on, man. They done went through 650 and ain't find nothing.
I mean, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm out there like
650,000
and ain't find nothing.
I'm Deshaun
John
Watson.
Gruden over there hot right now.
I'm up there like Nino Brown. I got a list of owners' names. I'm going down, taking a whole lot of people in the NFL with me.
Hey,
he got some
Let
money.
me play.
He got money, but he ain't got that much.
Yeah, that's long bread.
Them dudes you named.
This is very true.
That's long bread.
Barry Church, Danny McCray, Chris Beam, Will back there. Everybody a part of DallasCowboys.com to make this happen. I'm Newy Scruggs. We will chat with you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!